Hey, got a few people who still need to show up, but let me grab last week's little project. Where did I put it? Give me a minute. Give me an hour. Right there on top. Yeah. The egret, the white egret. You guys nailed it. I am a great teacher. That was fabulous. You guys, there were some super. I mean, all of them were really interesting and very nice. Uh, I must say, Lynette, you being the first one out of the gate, put hers up there and really put down the gauntlet for everybody else to go after. Uh, Kim did a fabulous job. Kim, that was fabulous. That's probably what, a little 8 by 8. I'm sure somebody at the real resale shop grabbed that one right up. Uh, we got some newbies there. We got Sally, who did a fabulous one. I really liked your Sally. I think you had some super colors and some nice mixes, good brush strokes. And Sarah did a great job. I mean, everybody did a really quite a nice job on that one. I think even what Carrie's looked fabulous. She came in late, and her colors were so interesting and really uh, nicely put down. And that's the whole thing is, you know, mixing these colors ahead of time and getting things, set before you so you can explode into your painting and not be gentle and touch it around and think it's going to go here, this go. It goes there and you're done, and it's just really kind of nice to when to see you when it works out like that. Okay, but that was last week. I feel sorry for you folks this week. Oh, I'm going to beat you up really good.
Hmm.
Really interesting ones this week. No, it's just a simple horse. Uh, a horse and water. Water, always tough to paint. It seems tough to paint, but basically, if you keep it simple, you like it just in the one we just painted. You can have fun with it. You don't have to be, you know, really exact. You can have a lot of movement into it and have it add to your painting instead of just be part of the painting. Okay. So yeah, we got this horse, and this came from Susie Bell. She's a photographer. This came from these are Arizona Salt River Mustangs or wild horses. This group, um, and that's they just a group of wild horses that hang out at the Salt River down there near Phoenix. Uh, so it's really they're really great horses. I've painted hers quite a few times because she's just like she has this really nice feel and really has a good eye for composition. So it really makes it simple for me to get to painting. So let me pull it up and we'll go over it. I know got a lot of horse people here, and it's going to be fun. It should be fun. If it isn't, well, too bad. See how you guys got me going already. All right. So I need this one and this one will do it. Okay. First of all, I'm going to look at it for values. All those reds, they really are a dark value. Usually you can see uh, in the body here, even the lighter spots of that value. They're going to be right here around sevens, sixes, and sevens, right? That tells you that's your highlight for the painting. Basically, everything in the water is still very dark. So we don't really the only highlights you got are right here on his markings. These guys are only thing that really are light, and maybe the reflection, maybe a little bit of light here, but like I said, that's, I would say 4 might even be the highest you can go on that stuff. And then this being the brightest area, you really don't, I would go, 3s mostly, maybe a 2 here and there for little hot spots. And down here, reflections. Okay, let's talk about reflections for 1 second. Um, reflections, darks in reflections go about a half step or step lighter. So this area here to this area will be in the reflected area will be lighter. Lighter colors, use or like this. Let's go here. Go about a step darker. So just reverse. So it almost little flattens out the image just a hair. But also when you have this going on, when you have a strong perspective going on here, where you have this is going to be very flat, and we're pretty much in there, and that's shooting right straight back like that. So this water is pretty flat. To get it to be flat, you got to have contrast in the front here of the bottom of the painting compared to going back. So we're going to have to adjust that so this water lays flat. It doesn't feel like it just drops off like a kind of like it almost does right now, where it kind of just drops off.
So what does that mean,
With a
Jim, in terms
waterfall.
of color and value? Is it lighter in the front still?
No, well, I would say darker. I've just darkened down this bottom area of,
Right.
of the painting a little bit. Um, that's what I would be shooting at. And that'll do it. That'll be enough. Just as long as we got a little separation of shadow to image, that'd be nice. Uh, so here we go. This is black and white. Very good design here. Could I? There's a few things in here I I thought were very interesting. Maybe you guys will go, "What an idiot!" But a circle. You just do have this circle here that goes around here, goes to the top of the head, goes around here, pretty much that eyeball. If you did say that's a perfect circle, right? You take that perfect circle and you double it, and it was going to be right here. That same size is going to hit that bottom of the lip of the nose. And also I thought that was interesting. 2 circles making up this head, but also let me do that again. Say that one's right. Down here in the muzzle, that circle is half the size of that one. Exactly. So I was thinking, that was quite interesting, and that kind of really makes up the shape of this horse. Okay. So you think, okay, one thing about horses is their head size, the length. If you can get that, you can get everything else usually in that horse, because that size tells you the body, the belly width, tells you some back haunches width. It will tell you this width right there. And if you took this and you switched it over to here, it would give you this width, pretty much. So, drawing wise, if we get you lay out that head in the right position first, you get the mouth, get that distance. You should be able to lay this thing out relatively fast, and it's really kind of a neat thing about a horse that these sizes and things, how they relate. So maybe that's why we like them so much, because they have this beauty in them that is very mathematical, and it fits in these interesting areas. Okay, yeah, that maybe yeah, that's me talking. Okay, color wise, wow. There's a lot of the same family of colors here: reds, burnt reds, a little bit more oranges. Got some nice green tints back here in the water, though, and we still have this coolness. So you got a really warm animal, but really what brings it out is that the coolness on these sides. These areas here of the sky showing through just enough to pop in there. It's going to be a little bit into the water too. You know, one of the things when you do it, you can have some fun. You can get some of that blue in that water, man. You can get away with it. You can put it in there and it's going to look good. But just like this one, yeah, take it a little easy. Don't go crazy. But an aggressive, brush stroke in here and there, is okay. Will help. That you got eddies in the water and things like that. Also, look, that blue will probably be a reflecting into the main here. That's where you're getting a little tinge of color in there. You can see it almost. You get a little bit of when you circle it like that. You can even see the green in there. You can definitely see coolness in there. So that's gonna be fun. Now, the regular horse colors. Man, that's gonna be, yeah, we could go, red, brown, red, brown, red, brown, a little bit of yellow into it, and make it orange, and then get the thing. Yeah, we can do that. That'll work. I don't think that's where I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna be doing a little burnt umber today, because this is like a chestnut horse. I always find chestnut horses have alizarin and burnt umber in these really dark, some of these darker things, probably some blue too. Um, and then they rich it up to some cad red in burnt umber. And you can start to get this stuff. You can start to get that burnt sienna, feel to it. Um, but I don't want to just do burnt sienna. And then you got some phthalo greens and oranges going in here with maybe a touch of white, mostly here, and probably here and here and here, going into that horse, and of course all those colors toned down a little bit will get into into the water too. I will probably attack. You want to attack both the horse and the waters pretty much simultaneously. You know, work it here. Working on the horse and then work it in here. So what I'm going to do is probably tone down in my first actions of painting. Put in a tone for the shadow or the reflection in browns, and then use these guys colors here. Keep it a lot lighter up here, but when I come down here and replace the color down here, it'll mix with the tone I have and do a lot of the work I have to do. I want to be a lazy artist. I want to concentrate only on strokes, drawing strokes. I don't have to worry too much about color. I want to get that, know that that's going to work. So that's where I am with this so far. You guys like my mathematics? I know how, yeah. Artists can are pretty good mathematics. I mean, we got to be able to, mix things. We got to know proportions and things like that. So, hey, a little something for you. Any questions?
Would you say the horse joins the water 2/3 of the way down?
Oh, in the painting?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I'm positioning.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say definitely, uh, in the 2/3 line in there, it could go slightly above it, but down in
Okay,
that ratio, as long as you keep it out of that half thing, you'll be fine.
right.
Right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good idea. And it's a little tight on the sides, but that really what that does is gives this horse size, and it really shows its muscles off when you blow it out that much. It, you could definitely bring it in a little bit on the sides here. I'm going to bring it in a little bit for mine, but not by much, but just enough to um, keep it from having too much tension, because these areas here, you can see where you got points and things are pointing out to the things. It kind of creates the tension points, but those tension points, just expand the horse, into that space, so interesting. All right. That is it, folks. We're time to go mix some colors and have some fun. Any other questions real quick? Okay. You've been warned. Wow, look at all these people. Okay. Let's replace this. There we go. There we go. This is all we're going to need today. Get this taken away. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong thing here. Big fingers today. Hitting these things. Okay. Hitting the wrong buttons. Nothing new. All right. Basically, we're going to go through the same colors on my palettes. Exactly the same as pretty much last week. I'll go through the colors with you. We have titanium white. I got a cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange, yellow, pale yellow ochre. This, basically it's ochre with just a touch of white in it. Sorry, folks. It's the ochre I have right now. This is oxide red light, alizarin crimson, or rose madder deep if you are a Rembrandt person. Cobalt blue hue from Utrecht, phthalo green, and on the blue shot side. Then I have transparent oxide red, which also could be burnt sienna. If you don't have it, that's okay. And again, this oxide red light down here, that could be Terra Rosa or Venetian. I did put out some burnt sienna up here. Burnt umber up there. I don't know if you can see it, just in case. Big brush, big ideas, right? I got some synthetics. We'll come in here and do the final carving on these things. It will just gonna really add a lot to the eyes, little things like that. Clean up the hair, clean up little areas, make anything sharp. Most of the painting will probably be done with big bristle brushes. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Bristle brushes, simple little things going around here. I don't want too many perfect lines, but you need a few. And then my palette knife will come in at the end and do a lot of the hairs and some of the water things too. Lots of flies. You can have a lot of flies. There are lots of flies around these guys. I also have my little trusty paint eraser. So just in case. All right, color wise on this beast. Oh, 1 second, I gotta pull it up over here. Yeah, it's a little redder in my photo, up on the screen, so which is usually better. So a little bit better color than what's going on here. You can really see the greens. You can see some of these reds a little bit stronger. quite as orange. So I'll go with that. First colors I'm going to put out. I'm going to put out blue and alizarin. Definitely want one on the alizarin side. See, this is how dark that can be. And it's cool here on the blue side. Blue side, even that, you know, that blue is a little bit weak. But I find this red here, this alizarin and blue being one of my darker colors we can make. Comes in handy. All right. I don't know. Hopefully you guys have burnt umber. But you don't. If you don't, what could we make? We could probably make burnt sienna and just a little blue together. Or oxide,
That's
transparent.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you could take transparent oxide or, burnt sienna and just add just a touch of blue to it. You could get to any color you want. You can get to these colors. They just won't have the same transparency as the as burnt umber. So if you need to do that, that's what I do. I do burnt sienna or oxide, transparent oxide, just a touch of blue, and that'll get you there. And then put alizarin into it. Some alizarin into one side of each. So basically, I got blue here. Basically, I could take that pile and just put a little oxide into it. But that will get me, you can see that chestnut color come out of there. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
So that's three colors: burnt sienna, blue, and the alizarin.
Yeah. And then you got one on the alizarin side, just so you can see how rich that is. And then you got a little bit more on the burnt sienna side. So, okay, I won't be using my burnt umber but you guys know how to make it now. I'm going to go back to using it, I think. Couple colors I definitely would like in here because these reds are going to be so strong. We're going to need a few greens, mixed up colors to get in there to separate out some of these reds. But we're still going to be using some red, but we're using green. So one of the better ones is this is oxide red light and phthalo green. It's just a little bit grayed out red and green. That will get into these shadow areas. I think are going to be really helpful in shadow areas. While I'm doing that, I'm going to go one more phthalo green, cad orange. No, not cad orange. I'm going to go cad. If you have cad red light, cad red light. Sorry, we will do cad orange too. I want to do cad. This one, because I always find it in these ears and around the eyes. They are going to be on the red side. I'm going to keep them on the red side a little bit more than green. So one's going to be really kind of red. All right. You see, you start to get into here, and you definitely get it. few spots. You probably find it, you can find it in water a little bit more. Okay, down here, like I said, I'm going to do a little phthalo green and orange. Maybe not so much phthalo green here. We'll see. This is just orange, phthalo green. Yeah, this definitely hits this area up here. I just want to have a couple versions of it, so I can use cooler green, the green with a little less orange in it. I can use that farther back in the painting, back in the top, and work to the warmer color. And that'll give me some distance back there. There we go. They just got to be a little bit closer than that, what they were. I think that's pretty good. Good enough. Oh, shoot. One last color. And this should do it. I'm going to have to go back to phthalo green and alizarin. There is a couple of the sky color in this. And and it's nice to have this. This is like, I can get all these hairs out of this color too. So it is a color, really good, important color in this one. It'd be on the alizarin side too much. So when I pull it down, I want to be able to see a little more green section like that. This should be nice purple. So I'm going to keep a little more red in it. I want to be able to see just a hair more alizarin in this color. Just really getting close. There you go. Just for the hair. Little areas. Maybe noses, stuff like that.
What colors were those? I'm sorry.
Alizarin and phthalo green.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, worst colors. Basic things, a couple of little colors here. We got some up here that these guys might do the trick, but basic when you get to the broad areas like the belly or in the face and stuff. Let's do a few colors here. Definitely, you would say oxide red light or Terra Rosa here would definitely be a good color to start with. I'm going to just make two versions of these things. I'm going to put alizarin in. I want to just a little bit on the red side. And then one, not so much. And that didn't right. That's pretty much the same. Okay. Get the red in here. I'm going to add yellow to these at the end. Everything else is going to be adding white. These guys are going to be adding yellow probably too. Also, we're going to put out some more of that, but I'm going to do cad orange to it. And if you don't have cad orange, like I said, cad yellow, cad red together will make this color pretty much.
Orange and Terra Rosa?
Yeah, orange and Terra Rosa are almost exactly what you need for this last bit right here. Definitely one on the orange side because you'll get the belly out of it. And then on the red side, you get the bottom of the belly on it. All right, that'll be plenty of colors to do probably paint this thing. So what I want to do now is go, these are all the darks, no white added to any of these. What I want to do now is split the colors, add white to them, and see what I come out with. And see what colors I might need at the end. Blue and alizarin up here. Take it easy on the whites on these guys. Value of that, it's like I said, was really pretty dark. We're almost going like a value of 8. So that means not much white, especially. These guys over here, these greens and reds here, might even be, already there, closer to the right value. These guys are. They might not take hardly any white at all. Maybe just for the water, even. See, that's the separation right there too. Just from some of these darks, just adding just a little bit of white to them. We'll take them to the water section too. So reflections. These guys definitely want to have some fun with. Don't want to take, sorry, a little bit too much from the piles. Can't put this down. These guys too over here, these last ones. I might do a couple extra color versions of these guys. Might add yellow to it and white. But everything else, I think I can just add just a touch of white too. All right. Hair dark. Much. Not sure if I'll be using like these two colors much. They might find a way. Well, they might find their way into the water. No, they could. You know, you might find them in these little creases in these cool areas in this water here. They could go into some of these little areas. So that intense little blue. So it's like try not to use too much white. Keep it even on the blue side, being really nice. Okay, these guys, like I said, this is again, you don't have burnt umber. This is oxide red, transparent oxide red blue, and alizarin. Interesting color. Yeah. You see it on its jaw and stuff like that. This is the red side. Yeah, that can fit in there somewhere. These are the green and phthalo green and oxide red. Yeah, that's can get in there. I can get in a few little teeny areas. I think I like a little bit more darkness to it. Just went a little light. Red side should be interesting. I'm not going to put too much white in. Trying to keep from chalking out against these reds. Other reds, graying out too much. Yeah, this is really all over the water, in the water here. This color, it's funny that when you put it in there, you know, the red goes away and the green starts to show up in that one. And definitely in the shadow area, lot of nice little areas for that. Good. Okay, these guys not much white at all. They're pretty much right there.
Jim, sorry, those last two greenish gray colors, what were they?
These two,
No, to your left, the two to your left, those two.
oxide red light and green, phthalo
And
green.
gray and phthalo. Okay, thank you.
And then these guys, a little warm, but oh boy, you can get them in there. These are going to be nice too. Cad red and phthalo green. Just adding just a hair of white to them, just going to be a little different. Maybe I'll take it too far. You can see they chalk out a little bit. And when I get that way, not quite as much placement for them. Man, just a touch more cad red to it to get it a little richer. The white just kind of soaked in there a little bit. I'm gonna do the same to that. So just a touch more cad red into these after I added white. Just to get it closer into that family. Sometimes it just kind of kicked it out of that family a little bit of chestnut colors. These guys are pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna tone these guys down just a hair with white. I think they will, it will lighten up a little bit as it comes forward a little bit to some of these areas. I can see it a little bit in there. Maybe, could be some of the grass, some of the underwater grasses it's grabbing. Definitely can see it on the side over here in the water. All right. Now these two colors, I'm going to take them down. I want to make sure, shooting for the sky in these two colors. Yeah, I hit some of that right there. So I'm going to leave that there. That's really like at a 7 anyway. So I'm going to take this one to the 7, and then I'm going to take a piece of them and shoot for the sky. That's in the lighter versions, I guess. As you can see, I really went with a lot of alizarin in this color. So it might end up being a little mix of these two, because this might be just too alizarin-y. But it's funny how this color blues out when you add enough white to it. It blues it out. It just goes to a little bit more blue. So it's always, I'm just going to leave it there. Like I said, I'm going to add these guys just enough paint white to these colors. And then I'm going to also add probably some yellow to lighten them up. Pretty strong color. I added a lot of white to it. It did not move. Same here. You can see it barely moved. That was a lot of white. It was almost half and half in it. All it did is lighten it up. Okay, little teeny spots. These guys can go in. Not too much. Gonna lighten it up with one more step on this one back here. It just does not want to play well. All right. Let's see what the oranges do here. Now that should get into this area pretty nicely. Here's the orange version. I added a little bit too much white, but yeah, just a touch too much white. I'm gonna steal from the top pile, bring it down. All right. These guys are pretty good. I pretty much could go to town on this thing and be fine color wise, I think. But I want to take these guys over here, clean my knife here a little bit. I want to add just a little bit of yellow to it. I need to kick them up, and I want to see. I want to have something a little bit like these, but different. So I have just something to play with. So just a little bit of cad yellow into them. The oranging, should bring out the orange in them a little bit. Yeah, this is on the back hip. Back here. This is back in here. This really hits this area here. So it's a little bit, so I'm not going to add, brighten it up too much. Just a touch of cad yellow. I'm going to hit these guys with a little bit of cad yellow too, because what's going to happen is I'm looking for facial yellows and richness, oranges, and so I need a couple little of these colors here to just pop a little bit more, so I can get them, into these areas here in the face. And that's really pretty much all where they go. They might hit a few little, especially wrinkles or hitch shots here, but not too many more. I'm gonna keep it adding just a touch more. There we go. Just got. I'm gonna take these guys up too. One more time with yellow too. Maybe I gotta get the skin off my yellow. I've not used up my cad yellow in a long time, so. Good. Get rid of it. There we go. I've got a few warmer spots I can grab, because some of these colors just seem like they went really kind of cool. I think that's as far as I have to take those guys. I just got to really hit a few of these areas here, the couple colors here. Sky color here, white and phthalo green and alizarin. Get that value. The value of that is probably closer to 4, and I am at 3, and not much color. A little bit more. As you see, just not enough color. Didn't put a great phthalo into it. There we go. Grade it down a little bit, and pretty much got me there. And then I want to do the other one. Definitely want to do one on the alizarin side and that value. I am just a little bit too far on the alizarin side, but I like that color. Take both these guys over here, do a piece of lean over there. You want to get a little more phthalo on this color. That was a lot of phthalo. That was too much phthalo. Go back and start again. wanted just a little more neutral than the alizarin, so that's what I was trying to do. And it's still purple now. It's purple. Okay. Add a little white.
Is that green and alizarin as the base?
Yeah. And then I have one on the alizarin side here and one on the blue side or phthalo green side. Definitely in there. That's going to fit nicely. Definitely you can see it over here coming up. Okay. One last color I want to check out. Alizarin and blue up here, these two guys. Yeah, if I put that in a blue, more blue than the alizarin, a little bit more on this blue side, I think I'll be really good in the water. I'll have one more, this will go back farther because it's cooler. I think it was gonna just, you can see the little periwinkle in that area there. So, okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit of that to play with. They should be at the same value as these two. So these two will come forward, that will push and that will push back. And then I'll have some nice little glints to put in the water. I'm gonna lighten up a few other colors here too. These greens and some browns, just a little bit. I'm looking for highlights in these hairs, and I don't think I have it. I don't think it's not warm enough. I don't have a grayed out color here. Since I'm not using burnt umber, but there you go. Now I'll get in and start to get in there. It's probably just a hair too light. I mean, too dark. So I'll take it to about a 4, 5-ish. There, good. Try not to, take all these colors down like this, but sometimes I didn't even mix up the marking yet color. So sometimes I need this that's what I should be doing here, is looking at where these guys are going to go when I get in there. Now help me tell me where the marking color is going to be. Definitely can have these guys, some of these CAD ones, get in there. It has a little bit of yellow, white, so I'm going to use this orange and phthalo green. Yeah, too much. Just want it a little creamier than that. Just want a little dark. Yeah, I can use that. It's just could go a little lighter yet, but okay, lighter. All right. Highlights in the nose, a little bit in the pinks here. In that nose. Those. And we should be good. Phthalo green, just a little teeny smudging of it. A lot of reds. things like that. Sometimes just a little scratch of some cool green, phthalo green kind of colors in there. We'll just make it pop a little bit. Okay. Okay, I'll go through the colors and then we'll get going. It's amazing how much we get done. You know, you really you get an hour and a half of painting and you guys have a really good block in done. So we start off with blue and alizarin, brought them down to about 8, and then I took the blue side down a little bit farther for the sky. Here I kind of mixed up a burnt umber color and added alizarin to it. Burnt umber color I used was transparent oxide and blue together. Pretty much did it. It could be burnt sienna and blue, but it could also be burnt umber. Very easy, right? And then one on the alizarin side, one on the basically burnt umber or reddish side. And then bring them down. You get some nice grays out here. This is pretty good. Over here we have phthalo green and oxide red light with just a little bit of white in it, a little bit more white. Over here we did again phthalo green and cad red. Really more on the red sides than the green sides because the green just is going to jump against any of these reds. Just that much, even that much green will do a great job. Down here again, we did phthalo green and cad orange. This is mostly for some of the water spots. Might end up getting into the face. I might have to bring in even some, more cad red at the final point in the face. You might just bring in a little more mix, just a little mix of green into it. Again, phthalo green and alizarin. Bringing those guys down. You can definitely see the green side, see the purple side. Even when I came down here, this was a little bit too much on the alizarin side, so I mixed in a little bit of phthalo into it. Over here we have our oxide red light and alizarin mixes. Not a huge. The alizarin did not really, do much to the oxide, which is kind of strange. Didn't really do too much. So these two colors are pretty similar. Over here we have oxide. We have oxide red light and cad orange mixes. On the oxide red, cad orange side, coming down with just a little bit of white. Looked okay. Then we hit it with some cad yellow, and we took these guys and hit it with some cad yellow, trying to get the face colors, a little bit of, muscles, breakage and things like that. Then I was looking for markings, color markings. So I used some of this cad orange and phthalo green, but mostly on the orange side with white, a lot of white. That should work out pretty well. Like maybe some of these yellows kind of going in there and some skin tone stuff right around the nose. But then it's a couple little lighter colors. I wanted to have some cooler colors to throw in there. Sometimes they just really enhance the yellows, or might even end up being in the water. So we got this. This is just phthalo green and alizarin here. This is again phthalo green alizarin, but on the phthalo green side with white, pretty high key. And this is just a little bit of phthalo green mixed in with more phthalo green than anything else. So I got a few little colors to play with. Questions? Okay. I did add a little bit of white to some of the bottoms of these colors too, just to things that value, I would say value would be 4 or 5-ish should hit. I'm going to tone my canvas with, since it's not burnt Yeah. I'm- since I have burn umber out, I'm gonna tone it with some oxide bread, and I'll be all right. And I'm gonna clean up my oil, put in some new oil here. Pretty clean oil, the painting. All right, let's draw it out. You guys saw what I was talking about, circles and certain things. I'll bring it back. Okay, bring it in as close as I can get it. About it. Um, like I said, I'm gonna fill the canvas with this little burnt umber-ish oxide red mix. Since I have that out, I just might as well use it up a little bit. Should help with the drying. It'll also keep keep it from getting too bright in the background too. Maybe even down here. Just work it in a little bit. I am painting it 20 by 24. You know, kind of think that this is kind of hedging my bet. I think this is going to be a good painting. Interesting painting. So, all right. Wipe it off a little bit. Make sure the oil's off here. Now to lay it out. Right. Oh, my camera's rolling. All right. Uh, Kim said it pretty much right. Try to keep it about 2/3, 1/3, 2/3. Right about here would be okay. Slightly above third. As long as it doesn't get a half, you're fine. So we need the horse's head almost in the middle. I mean, that's where it's going to end up. All right. And it goes pretty much. I want to go up to here, here, and here. So here to here. Bottom swing. Half that. That's pretty much it right there. Might be off on a circle a little bit. Now this width here. Anything width here. Going over. Oh, right about a half, 1.5 inches there. Should be about the same over here. Way down. That's underneath the jaw, that spot where it comes in. All right. All right. A little figuring out ahead of time, saves a little bit of drawing time. Looking at it and understanding it just a hair more than normal. All right. Yeah, and it looks like I got a lot of extra little things going on here, but I think this jaw is probably just a little too wide. Which works here on this side. Yeah. Just gonna slide the horse head over a little bit. We'll end up doing it anyway. All right, good enough to start with. Otherwise, get the colors in. Definitely want to start with my darkest darks. They are going to be the blue and the alizarin. You guys okay? Okay. Blue and alizarin mixes. I'm going to start up here to the main. Bring that in. Too far already. I think I got to move this ear over a bit too. Okay, better. Move it over there. Definitely look in the crotch area. Down in here, this is on the alizarin side for sure. Coming into the leg here. Comes down only so far, and then you see just a little patch of water difference right in here. And then you got the reflection. Again, I was going to kind of tone this area down just up here more. Just some of that toning color. Going to tone it just a little, like I said, darker at the bottom. Maybe even add a little bit of that purple into it. Just in the middle section. So I can get that to pop up when the highlights go in. Still in that purplish blue mix. Yeah, edge of the water here. He got his leg starting to show. A little bit of chest. I'm gonna do all the dark areas in this color, just a little more alizarin than on the blue side. Some of these chest muscles, and at least get them in. See the alizarin really transparent. Just darken it up a little bit more. Get some of this color in here so I can start to get the structure in here right. Look in the face a little bit, right around the jaw, I would say. With this muscle here, the cheek here, cheek, jaw. I'm going to come down and definitely get a little bit of the mouth, that color. Thinking about the here around his eye. Get that shadow in. A lot of purples going in here. And then the red should just, pop out of there pretty well. Nose hole, nostril. That's a little difficult little spot, I must say. This is is that nostril open because of the markings? Is that open or is it shut or is it, probably open? Just the way it, a lot of the, so I'll be probably working on that for a while, trying to figure that out for myself. Definitely this purple can go in a lot of these muscle areas, like, really strongly, even into these shadow areas, really create a lot of nice depth. Push that leg back here a little bit farther so they're not both, everything's on the same line. Okay. So that's just one color so far. And trying to get it to do as much as it can do. Even in here, might even go just really push it in a little bit. See, I want that. I'm going to put a little bit more blue into this now. On the blue side here, a little bit into this his mane here. Because I'm thinking about the warms colors that are going to go in here. I really want them to, have something to play against the warm and the cools. So pushing it on just a little bit more on the blue side, rich side, the darks should be pretty interesting. Okay. So those are first two colors. Filled it in pretty good, pretty good. Now I said, want to use that color and bring it down here a little bit. Reflections are pretty much, this one is pretty much straight under everything. Sorry, thought I was done, and then looked over here and go, oh shoot, I could do this. Really, what I'm trying to get established is the structure, the shadows, but, because a lot of that is in this face here. I got a few spots here I went too far on. We're going to stop there. The next colors. These are warmer. These are going to be interesting. This is our basically burn umber mix, our oxide, transparent oxide and blue and alizarin. Basically these same colors, but just a little oxide basically added to it. And definitely you can see how rich that is. That's a good rich color. I wouldn't have probably ever made this color on myself. But there are just so many ways to mix colors, get to these colors. Okay, this is a very rich color, definitely pure by itself. On the red side here, the thing, definitely going to find it in, in this cheek here. Definitely want it in this cheek, because that's really going to help all the all the structure going on in there. And that's working out pretty good, because these colors have a huge relationship. The only difference is just a little oxide in the blue purple. So that's going to go in here into these right around the eye here. Just leaving little teeny spots, in between. That's how I do it. I just leave a little clean paint, places, and that's really for basically another one more color to come in here. This color's probably going to get right around the eye, a little tighter than I did above the eye too. Right in here, this area right in here, without the hair, goes right in here. So this painting probably go pretty quick now. Just gonna run my brush out here on the opposite side of his head here, this color, just to give it some toning. This is, it's nice that we'll get rid of pretty much all the white for this color too. Gonna go to the red side. This is more red on it. And that will shoot me into things a little bit more. So even into this neck area here, where I got, goes just inside here a little bit. Like in these neck creases, because those neck muscles are so huge. Getting these this red, even a little bit blue purple here again back into these crevices where it goes down. I ain't sure if I got it dark enough here yet, even. But I got a few other colors yet coming, so I'm okay. Definitely, we get that part done, we're good. Just get it down here by the nose area here, just to get it in a little bit. Start to touch the markings a little bit. This is a wild horse, so really no one's gonna say the markings are off. So, you don't have to labor over those guys too much. Just gonna, run the paint out of my brush here, just get a little more red grays and stuff going down here around the mouth. Let's soften this back edge here. This is going to go up a little higher now. Probably should almost go up. Yeah, it should go up higher. Fill that in, and we're good to go on be done with this color. I'm just going to run it on my brush on this back side so you can see with a difference of that color is? Just keeping it thin, and basically I'm just drawing in a few of the muscles back in here. Yeah, thinking about them. Okay. The last of that color pretty much is the last of that color. Definitely I'll come down here and just throw it in the put it in the water so I can remember it. And I can just zigzag my way through here. One thing about these waves and all these things like that, they are consistent, pretty much run straight across. They might have little angles in them or something like that, but they pretty much run straight across the thing. So if you have an in here, it's pretty much going to be lining up with something over here. It's going to be the same one. So that's the thing, is that you don't get lost. Okay, we are done with our second color. We are done with it, but I should have probably did behind his ear a little bit. Okay, now we're going to be moving into the grayer reds, darks. They're grayer because we have green in them. No white, just green and blue and red. This is on the red side, but it's green, but it's oxide red and phthalo green. It is a little bit on the they're both on the red side, but this is as you can see the green in it here. Definitely I see it right here on this hip or this bottom of the shoulder here. That green coming through here. There's a little point. It hits the neck right in here. Maybe the red side. Maybe I should look at that a little bit. Yeah, just a touch more red into it. Just the warmth just changes. So that little patch there, and then down here, it's clavicle. Down here. So this is really on the red side right now. I'm going with the green side was just a little too dark. I might even go add a little red to this one. Say this is the green side, in fact. Let me see. Almost pure oxide. Then almost have to go to get it right, which is almost just a touch too much. So this color has more. I just put a lot more oxide red into this section of it because I can get a lot more of these subtleties going in here. And I can get right into the main here. I can just don't have to, I can lose a lot of these two guys married together really nicely. The little crease uh, areas around here in the mouth or in the cheekbone here. There's some, just a little bit of that green up around the ear. You know, before the brightness comes in, just this color coming in. I'm looking a little short, to tell you the truth. Could be this jaw a little bit too far. There you go. Kind of elongate it. I'm gonna look for some warmth on a few other places now, and all right. Now the last two kind of horse lighter colors here. Yeah, these guys, see, these are green and cad red. Yeah. All right, good. That is the final little highlight down in here. His chest, cad red, phthalo green on the red side still. Even though it's on green, I have it on the green right now. It's really very has a lot of red in it. And then in these, right on the edges of usually these things, right in the muscle to get it going, you know, a little roundish, you know, to give it the chiaroscuro effect where it feels round. Getting the highlight going into these dark shaded muscles over here. A lot of work going on into an area that is supposed to be very quiet. You know, it's not supposed to jump too much. This is the red side of that. And you can just see it just kind of glows a little bit in here. That's really good. I'm going to put that right in the middle of this shape. I put in these lighter colors. It's going to go with that. And it goes right on the outside edge of this muscle here that turns. Is really outside edge muscle there. That is just cad red, phthalo green, mostly cad red going in there. See if we can get it. It might go just a little lighter right there, but I would say not much. This is that same color, just a touch of white in it. And putting it in, because that's where it goes. Doesn't go too many more places. So this area here, even though it's a little squiggly and stuff, and yeah, there's going to be a little movement and stuff, pretty much there, except for some of the rich, some of the rich leg colors that are going to come in right on behind the mouth here. Okay. I'm going to look for those reds and greens again now into his face a little bit more. Maybe more on this back ear here, or the front ear. A little bit, not that much. Little areas around them as we come down the jawline here. I can see in the shadows, there's just a touch of warmth. You know, gonna leave that alone. Okay. I think there's gonna be like should be a main color that's gonna come in here now. And really make some difference here. I think the green side might go more around the back edge of his mouth in here. Yeah. It feels gray. It should be gray. But it's going to have a little bit of this in there too. Definitely when you get around the nostrils. You're going to need some cooler grays in here coming in. Definitely right around the bottom of that nostril it hits pretty nicely right at the edge of that nostril. And almost going, inside there a little bit. That's a problem, is always these markings might have to, when you get markings like this that are going right around the nose, it does not make for it's kind of challenging. Let's just say, yeah, very challenging. One of the things I didn't do is put some green in here. I'm into the shadows here. So I went back to this is a oxide red and green there. Red shadow. All right. I'm just going to keep going with my greens and yellows because I got it in the brush. I was thinking about switching over to reds, getting into the forest color, but I am going to delay that a little bit and keep going with this, but I'm going to go with the alizarin and phthalo green first before I go to my yellow greens and stuff and come back here. And I'm going to, put a few more these kind of colors now in back into the main and into his hair here. This is on the green side, so I'm going to take it and pull it right into that background, which or the his neck here, and it should fill in a lot of these gaps. I left little spots. It's going to get rid of a couple of these guys. I'm trying not to get too close to the face yet. I mean, because of I want to have some room to play there. Okay, so I'm finishing up the darks here. This is looking good. That's the thing. I'm going to go. This is alizarin and phthalo green. I am just going to touch his eyeball here with this. A little darkness there. I think there's a few spots here right in here around his cheek here. That kind of get lost a little bit. So this is blue, phthalo green, and alizarin on the alizarin side coming into this face. Going into the mouth area here. A little stronger now. One thing about chiaroscuro, making things round, you got what makes it round is a highlight, or secondary light that hits the jaw from this side. So the darkest spot is just off the jaw, and so you got just a hair of rim light going onto that thing, which round makes it round. You get a little bit of the eyelid shadow. Okay, before I'm done going on these things, I'm gonna run some of these greens and stuff again. Really coming down here a little bit in the water before I walk away. Okay, not bad. Okay. Um, I wanted to see if this might be too dark. No, it's about right. Okay. Going into this ear here, just gonna tone into this ear here a little bit. That was Cad Red and Phthalo Green there. Just wanted to throw that in. Okay. I'm just gonna really kind of. I think the next big colors should finish. You get this guy really popping here. I'm gonna go over to some of my reds here. These are Oxide Red and Lizerin. This is with just pretty much straight those two together. I'm going to try it here on on his lower part of his belly here. And yeah, say it's just a touch too cool. It's a little too cool for that spot. But it'll go back into his face a little bit. I think up here around his eyes, right about his eyebrow. Feel it up there and then closer to the marking and then over here to this side. Okay, that red also starts to like a nice transition from the darks, or these dark reds, to some of the warmer reds. And I can see it in some of these little highlight areas and the muscles and this thing here, just that rich red there. Like I might have the eyeball just a hair low. Okay. This is probably going to definitely go on his back hip. I would say, and even this back in here, I definitely, when it's wet, I could see this color a little bit more. And it's going to be, close to its darkest area there. So it should be pretty good value-wise to really almost fill in some of these areas around here. But a little bit. This color is a little weird because of both, it's really as much alizarin I put into it. It's both sides of this color are really too close together. So you can't tell. I basically can't tell one from the other. So, but as one color, it's okay. It's going to go in and break up a little bit, do some nice breakups. And look for over here a little bit, maybe in the water coming down from more this area here. Put it in straight, then just run the line through it. I'm also going to put it right here on this reflective part of the nose here. In the water here, just start to, yeah, this color has to go get a little more yellow to it, a little more orange to it. But it's in here, and it's just trying to facilitate this thing a little faster. Because, we still got a little bit of water ideas here to do. But like I said, the rhythm of this water and stuff, pretty consistent. It doesn't get, it will start to blend out, but at the perspective we're seeing it, these lines are pretty consistent all the way back. They don't really change speed too much. Get wider and softer, yet we're not at that angle. It's a little darker on the back hip here. Okay. Well, as far as I can go with that. Yeah, I'm going to be moving over to the orangier ones. These have oxide and orange. This one has a little more oxide in it. And this is probably the right color. Yeah, the right color for this bottom of the belly. You guys probably painted this already, so I'm going to shut up and probably get there quick too. Try to get there. My color's going to go probably start to get into this section of the back leg here. Going to be a little highlights here. I'm going to go with the lighter orange now. This is more orange. No white in it yet. We haven't used any white yet. Really colors with white. And you got this thing almost all painted. This color could go a little cooler, but it's going to make a nice difference and really get this belly to turn a little bit, you know. And this is where I was talking about over here, right at the edge of this belly, you know, right where you got the dark, just a hair of lightness. You're always going to have a hair of lightness, and that's what turns things. All right. I'm going to look for these colors in the face now. Definitely, you're going to find them in the sunny side, right? Pretty much up here against the shadow. This one spot should be really good. Right here, I've kind of left that one mark right here for a tone of red orange to go right in here around the eyeball. Still painting my big brush. That's the thing is when you paint something this size, this brush can do a lot of, you know, gets really small, but it also gets really, you know, big. Right underneath the eye. I can see it right in here, this little triangle there, and then that's a little bit too big a triangle, but then a square brush stroke to the nose from there and there. This should be right above should be right on the highlight of his eyebrow. Probably touch his eyelid too, maybe. It's getting closer on that. Orange. Now I put in that little darkness into his back, this back eyebrow forehead here. So I just don't want to. So I'm working from the marking spot, his marks on out. I'm going to go with a little bit lighter yellow orange. This should feed from his eyeball right here and feed down and fill in this spot here. If I have enough paint, it does. Little changes in direction, shape. This area here again, left pretty much open. So basically not too much white so far. I mean, you're going to find the last little bits. Yeah, you're going to need some highlights and some more grayed out colors. Look for them up around the ear here too. That's going to be the other side. Just a little more red back in here. And I'm going to put a little bit of this. No. Well, yeah, I'm going to come back now. Okay. Going to go right to my cat orange and greens and put that in the background real quick. Here's the green side. I'm going to put it back on this side. Streaky, right? They'll do most of this work here. So I'm basically going to leave a lot of the rest of the stuff in here for sky color or maybe for reflecting in. Not very green. Now make a ton of this color, so probably might have to make some more. It's you can see I can start to see in a lot of other places. So I'm gonna cut over to the orange side then. Where that comes forward here. So whenever I have a uh, dark wave going through here, basically it's saying that that's an up wave stuff. So it's going to come out a little bit farther. I'm going to marry that up with the top areas of this orange. That will create that line, the line it is. What's going through here? They just line up, they just keep going. That's marking, that just marked out all the water, basically, I marked it out pretty quick, but that's pretty much how I do it. And that is the end of our dark colors with any light, without white. Everything else now, midtones. Like you said, there's not a ton of them, but we're gonna go through them real quick. I'm gonna work right here on the face, and in the nose, in the mouth here, just to get that to life. Now, then it's gonna take me to the hair and a few other spots, and then blue. That's it. It should be really pretty close. These colors are going to be a little pinkier, little things. This is a oxide red and alizarin with just a little white in it. This one has just, I'm going to go just a touch of yellow, the one with just a touch of yellow in it, because I was thinking about working it in around the nostril down here, getting some of this kind of fleshy orange in there a little bit, getting it a little heavier because it's when I do go with lighter color in here, it will really should blend away. This could also be definitely in here highlight in this back leg there. Little too cool. I'm going to put it on the back hip. So this is again phthalo green. No, it's not phthalo green. It's oxide red light, alizarin, touchy white, and a touch of yellow. And I'm going to put that on his back, basically hip here. It could go just a little lighter, which I'll just add some white probably to it, or see what I have here. This is that orange version of it, where I added orange instead of alizarin, and this is the orange side with just a little white in it, coming in and doing this highlight in that, right in that hip. It might go just a little more yellow as it comes down into here, so just a little bit yellow into it. That one. Now probably also these colors are also going to be in the face, so but right there, and then I'm just going to hit a few of the highlights around the hip area here. I say highlights, not really highlights, just markings a little bit. Push that back a little bit more. Bring it, work it a little bit in his back hip here, a little bit more. I'm going to probably switch out to just a slightly low, smaller brush than this one. Uh, sorry, I thought I was going to have to use, like I said, bristle brush, bristle brush, bristle brush. Here I use a synthetic and painted pretty much the whole thing. That was a big synthetic. Okay. Now I want to go to a little bit of bristle brush. Not too big a one. I can start to put in some hair. As you can see, I tried to get a few things in here. And I want to work around the mouth here, some grays, gray greens here. So I'm going to go to oxide red and phthalo green mixes with just a touch of white. And that's pretty much what I need. You can, that's a green, but when it hits next to this red, it becomes a blue. And that, you know, you can just, basically, I'm just going to touch it into the red a little bit. You see, I have not even thought about these little greens that are in his mouth. So this is like a number 7 value of this color. Just touching around this nose here a little bit. If, you know, that that works out all right there. Gets a little, starts get a little bit of the grays coming back into the face here. Now I'm going to use this color up here into his areas up here. What time we have here? No, we only got like 10 minutes, so I got to hurry up. I'm just going to put in a couple of highlights in here because of it's all the time I'll have. And basically all these areas here left over go basically blue green, phthalo green, and on the green side and alizarin to blue in the very back. You know, so that's the rotation of colors. So, but I'm going to be using these oxide reds, oxide red light, and green right now with just a touch white in it, and get a few markings here for the hair. And again, this is really, this value I'm using is still like an 8. Just barely has any white in it. And when I put hairs in, again, I leave spots. I leave area in between each stroke. So it reads. You don't want them too close together because they kind of blend together really quickly. I'll be shooting to more of the red side of the color as I come closer here to the head. Might have to go, a little lighter in spaces and places, but not too much. And then really when you do the main, it gathers a few places. It's not the same all the way across. It stops. There's a breaks in this thing, and they're not all the same. I'm going to use just a little bit of the color just to put it his eyelid or his eyelash. See, I kind of left a little bit of area here to put a highlight in for this thing there. We'll put in his eyelids. Just a touch of blue white. All right. I'm just going to throw in the white markings real quick, and we're done. Basically, gonna go not quite too white yet. I'm gonna work that way. This is basically orange and phthalo green with white, a lot of white. It's just a little off right here. I want to just start with the top of the highlight marking. And bring it down. And just push it into this near the nose. Warm it up a little bit, warm up a little bit. And the light area is more on the inside, outside here. Mark it up a little bit. Maybe a little wide, but that's not too bad. And then coming down, definitely I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use a little bit of red and white. This would be oxide. This is that oxide and alizarin mix with white. Maybe just a little more yellow added in. Yeah. So it's a couple of degrees light, and I'm just going to put in the highlight. And it has to kind of almost replicate this thing. And then when you get down the bottom, don't give it too much. We don't want it to lead all the way off, you know. So keep it smooshy right here at the last inch or so, so it doesn't, take you off too much. But basically, everything left to do is, come back and put in a few highlights in, work the ear, maybe put the red in and be where it's supposed to be, and then put in some of this, blue purple here or green. And it will just, if you put it in right above these spots here coming in, you're golden. That's all you have to do. You can bring it in from those spots right above them. Just a little marking it up for you, how I do it. I'll be doing basically mixing it up like that. I'll bring it in. Got a little bit of work to do on the face, definitely. I would say blue, purple might be just a little bit much for underneath the eyes, but we'll get there. All right, there we go. As far as I can get in to the face and up to the ears. Got to figure out the ears in the background. Basically, those are no more 5-minute jobs. I can put them in, but I want to see. We got to have time here to see what everybody else is doing. So turn on your cameras, and we'll see what you got. Let's see, water. Okay. So we got Anne Marie's up, and Kathleen,
Hi.
Sally. So we got a few people ready to go. How you doing, Anne?
Okay, I didn't paint today. I watched, but it was great. It's a great subject.
Okay. All right. It is a fun subject. I mean,
Yeah,
if
the
you,
colors are
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, it's a good horse to paint. And I mean, especially when it's wet and it's really even richer than it is,
Oh yeah.
it's a lot of fun to paint. And if you can paint a horse's face, you can do a lot of other things. Landscapes are pretty easy after you paint a horse, I find.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try, but not today.
I understand. All right. Oh, hey, did you like your chicken salad yesterday?
The chicken salad was fantastic. And it tasted homemade. And
Isn't it?
Mariano's does a good job. It's the best I've had, like from a place, yeah.
For a long time, yeah, unless you're going out to a deli, right?
Right.
Right. All right. Well, we'll talk to you in a little bit. All right.
Okay.
Kathleen, let's see what you have.
I
Sadly,
started watching and then we lost 3 roofs up here and my roofer came for us to pick up samples. So I just got
you
done with
lost
him.
3 roofs?
Well, they're on, but they're all damaged. So they're replacing them, which
Oh,
is actually
strong
kind of a
winds.
good thing.
Strong winds?
Hail. We
Hail?
got like baseball almost hail up
Oh,
here. about a
Out.
month ago. Yeah. And then we got a bunch of trees down. So anyway, he showed up today and it was kind of my fault. I forgot. I'm so used to Monday night. I forgot about Saturday. So anyway, I'll get used to it. And usually nothing goes on Saturday. So
Okay.
I started mixing and and then I just got back on. So I'll work on it later. I'm anxious to try it.
Okay. Well, good.
So
Good. It's a good
yeah,
horse.
yeah, yours is looking really cool.
Wow. Thanks.
So,
Thank you. You're nice. All right.
um,
All
so,
right. Let's see
thanks.
what Sally has, and then we'll go to Lynette.
Okay,
Sally, how is it over there? Good weather?
all good, thank you.
Ooh,
Oh,
beautiful.
wow.
Okay, Sally, congrats. That's fabulous. That's for someone, color wise, you followed it really. You did follow me pretty good, didn't you? Or you just mix these colors and say, forget this guy.
I can follow you. Yeah, yes, it was a hard subject. It was harder than last week, but yeah, it's
Good.
good.
Well, that's the way they're going to go. They're going to get a little bit harder and harder.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. Good going, girl. I can't. You really kept with me. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. All right. Replacing Spotlight with Lynette, and then we'll see Kim, and we got Luann.
I don't know.
Meryl, do not wipe off your painting, Meryl. Ooh,
Ooh, look at Lynette.
look at that. She nailed it. Okay. What you're missing? You're missing the brighter oranges behind his head.
Yeah, yeah.
And into his cheek. That orange, reddish orange and stuff, just a little bit richer than in his belly and his back a little bit. That were bullet push his head a little bit more forward. That's all it's missing. That's
Okay.
really quite good. You're gonna have to run it into the water. This is fabulous, really. I mean, you are just into basically adjustments, and that's what this is. Now, getting the richness. The drawing's fabulous. It looks really good here, and then just really push the oranges and the reds. You might be able to even go almost back without the white. Use the white that's already there in the color you got down, and just richen it up. Maybe you might even have to go with a little cad red behind his nose and into his belly.
Okay.
That might do it.
Okay.
That
Okay.
might be it. You don't want to, working that in, I think will do it. That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun. Of course,
Yeah.
I love horses.
Well, I know. That's why I did this. I did this for you. All right. Let's see what Kim, and then we got Ellen and Luann, Meryl, Sarah, and again, okay. Another English girl.
Ready.
Let's see what happens here. We get. You should be pretty good at horses. I don't know why, but you should be pretty good at horses. All right. Fabulous start. That's rich, very rich. Good job on that. The reds and stuff. I think you'd probably go just a little bit lighter on the back, just the higher part of after the midline of the belly, just up, going up. That lighten it up a little bit. That will pop his head forward just a hair more. But that's just probably where you are right now, color wise. Way to jump ahead and get the blues and stuff in the water. That it's working. I would say into the marking in the water and stuff. Soften it at the very bottom of the panel. Just smear it out a little bit. The lines are working. The water's working really well. Have fun now. Now it's just highlights in the hair, making sure you don't get too consistent lines. You want breakage in there, of sections of hair. Yeah, very cool. That's
Good.
did you have
Thank
fun,
you.
Kim? Did you
I
have fun?
did.
Okay. All right. That's all we need to hear from you, Kim. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ellen, let's see what you did. Did you paint?
I just listened. This is my first class.
No
And-
way. What? How can that be?
Yes. Well, I missed last week and I did take a dog class months ago, but I wasn't sure what to expect, so I just took notes and I'm going to give it a try. It looks difficult, so we'll see.
Difficult. I showed you how to draw it. I showed you the colors. I showed you how to apply the colors. It's easy peasy. Look at the rest
Well,
of these
we'll
guys.
see how good I am.
Oh, that's so yeah. I tell
Yeah,
you,
they look
I
great.
do. It does at the beginning here seem like I go like a marathon, very fast and things. But as you keep going with it, you'll find out. Yeah, you'll be able doing this by the end of the session. You should be able almost to keep up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Write
I
that
love
down.
the way you
Write
make
that
all
down.
your colors.
It speeds
Yeah,
things up. This
I
is
did.
an hour. This is only an hour and a
Okay.
half of painting. Okay, I'll leave you alone.
I know.
Hey,
Thanks,
we're just getting to
Jim.
know you, so I got to give you, make you feel as uncomfortable as possible. All right, we'll go on to Luann and then Meryl and Sarah. You're going to bringing up the back end.
Sorry, I didn't paint today. It's Luann, but I'll catch up later. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. Okay, fine. All right, Meryl, you better not have wiped it off this time. Okay, this is Meryl. This is really what she looks like. Meryl. I think Meryl's gone. Okay. Sarah, we're counting on you to save us here.
Okay.
Save this class. All right. Here we go. Can she do it? Yes.
Oh.
See, I save the best for last. I know what I'm doing here. Look at that. Good job on that horse. Really some solid paint and colors going in there. And you got some nice subtleties going in the shadows. Good job on that. I mean, really finding that using warms, just the warm side of some colors to be highlights and stuff. That's where you want to be. That's how on this one, especially in those shadows, you don't want a lot of details and then you got the richness. I think you could probably go a little bit brighter yet on the belly of the horse on the top part.
Okay.
I think the bottom's right. I think you probably could a little more cat orange into that color going up, and then work your magic in the water. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job on the mane too. I can see you already dived in there really nice, and that's the way to go. You wanted a little hot, different strokes. You don't want them all going in the same line. You want a little moved around like that. That looks good.
Okay.
I would say, finish up his eyeball and things like that and put in the water. You're set.
Okay. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right. Did I make everybody feel uncomfortable? That was my job. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I do it. Hey, I don't got a roof to worry about, girl.
But you mean well.
Yeah, I mean well. Let's see. Did I miss anybody at all? Okay. I didn't think so. Either. But finish these guys up. I want to see them finish, and I want to see them on Facebook. Now I want to tear them apart. I'm going to kick you. Half of you guys are still off the island, so hey, don't come back. You don't want to come back. If you're all kicked off the island, you did something really well because you're competing with me, and I don't take that well. So anyway. So finish these guys up, put them up there, and we'll have some fun. So
Thank you.
Okay. Have a great weekend.
Try it.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
So long.
Thank
See you later.
Bye.
So Jim, I have a question. Where
Yeah.
do you post the recording?
Yeah, I'll send you all out the recording later today.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And
Thank you.
you get to keep it forever, and whenever, you link to it. It should be up for a while.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No
Bye.
problem. Bye.
Bye-bye.